a review of all of the round of 16 Champions League games. So round of 16 is of course over, well, the first legs, I should say, are over. So I'm going to talk through each game and give my thoughts and opinions on them. Let me know your thoughts on all of the games we discussed. It was a pretty entertaining round of 16, I will say, but yeah, anyways, before we do that, we of course made our predictions on Predict 6, so we'll have a brief look at these. Now, I will say that I did not realise this until somebody commented on my last video, but they said that I predicted like 2-1 for pretty much every result. I did not realise this, and I look now and I realise I literally did, besides the Bayern Munich Leverkusen result. But luckily, I mean, surely one of these is going to be 2-1, right? And one of them was Real Madrid Atletico. I got that bang on. I got PSG to beat Aston. I mean, as we get on to, that definitely did not happen. Dortmund beating Lille, that didn't happen. I did have Barca beating Benfica, correct. I did a draw, which was wrong. And then PSG beating Liverpool, which was also wrong. So it wasn't the best week for me on the Predict 6. But anyways, let's get into the games. So we'll go in chronological order. We'll start here with Club Brugge 1, Aston Villa 3. Got some De Cooper, Bailey, Mikel own goal, and Asensio penalty. So Aston Villa get a 2-goal lead going into the second leg for this one, in a very entertaining, I will say. As a neutral, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. It was extremely entertaining and very fun to watch. We had a banging goal in 3 minutes. Shout out to Bailey, that was a really nice goal. Leveled up in 12 minutes as well. Yeah, it was a really entertaining game. And I thought, to be honest, I thought Brugge were probably the better side in this one. Particularly in the second half, I think Brugge had some really good chances, but they just kind of completely chucked this tie away on their own, right? Like, they didn't put their chances away in the second half. They had 2 big chances. They missed them. Tyrone Mings, I mean, I think this was probably the game-changing moment. Tyrone Mings, with one of the best clearances off the line I think I've really ever seen, to be honest. It was absolutely unbelievable. I think it was maybe, yeah, it was this one. It was an incredible header clearance off the line by Mings, and a bit of a redemption story for him, because last time he went to Brugge, he of course gave away that really ridiculous penalty for the handball. And he made this one in the 69th minute when Brugge were really on top, and then after that kept them in the game. You know, they had some more chances, and then out of nowhere, obviously, the own goal happens, which is of course unfortunate from a Brugge perspective. But then, yeah, Solis just, I don't know what he's doing, gives away a penalty. It was definitely a penalty in Asensio, brilliant pen. But really, two errors, no goal and a penalty with 8 minutes to go, and all of a sudden this tie, not to say it's completely done, but it looks about 70% of a way there now. And really disappointing for Brugge, because as I said, I think you can argue they were probably the better side in this game. I think it was a pretty even match. Two-goal lead definitely does flatter Villa, but as we're getting on to some other games, when it comes to knockout football, it's not really about how you perform and how you get the win. It's really just about getting the win. It's about getting the job done, and Villa, I mean, it wasn't pretty. They had a little bit of luck, a little bit of a helping hand, but they got the win away from home. I don't think you can really ask for too much more. So, yeah, very well done to Villa in this one. Next up, Borussia Dortmund 1, Lille 1. Got some Karim Adeyemi and Haraldson. So, to be honest, this was much less of a entertaining game. It was very, very boring. I mean, there was one shot on target for literally both sides in this game, and both of them actually went in the back of the net, so I guess you can say they were clinical, but yeah, I mean, not a lot really happened in this game. To be honest, I expected a lot more from Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund took the lead with a fantastic strike, kind of similar to Bailey's goal from Adeyemi in this one, and I thought, get the goal and then try and push on, but Dortmund never really did so, and I feel like allowed Lille to sort of control the game and get back into the game. And Lille eventually got their goal through Haraldson, and that's a big goal. I think Lille out of these two teams are going to be much, much happier side, because I mean, Dortmund are pretty strong at home. Lille will definitely bat themselves going at home with it all to play for as a draw. It's a fantastic result. I really did think Dortmund should have showed a little bit more urgency, should have showed a bit more prowess to actually try and win this game. I think they were a little bit too cautious in this one. And yeah, I mean, these two teams were very, very evenly matched. The second leg, I think, is going to be really good because it is completely, in the balance right now. 1-1, as I said, it probably favours Lille now, being at home in the second leg, but yeah, good result for Lille, not the best for Borussia Dortmund. I mean, there's not really much to talk about in this game. It was, nothing really happened, to be honest. But I think second leg should be really, really interesting, and it set us up for a really good one, so let's see what happens in that second leg. Right, well, I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. PSV Eindhoven 1, Arsenal 7. Got some Noah Lang, Kieran Timber, Ethan Nwaneri, Marino, 2 for Odegaard, goal for Trossard and a goal for Calafiori. I mean, I don't think many people expected this at all. I don't think anybody expected this. I mean, if anyone predicted 7-1, then, I mean, please tell me the lottery numbers, because that was, quite frankly, ridiculous. Perhaps definitely the most shocking result of the Champions League this season. And one of the most shocking results I've seen. I mean, this is crazy. 1.91 XG with 7 goals, but I mean, that just shows you kind of how, don't read too much into XG, because Arsenal definitely deserved those 7 goals. It wasn't really like luck or anything. Arsenal actually battered them. They had 6 big chances in this game. It was really a no contest affair. I mean, PSV did actually start pretty decent, and it took 18 minutes for Arsenal to find the breakthrough. And there was a moment, I think in like the 32nd minute or something, I think it was when it was 2-0, where Lewis Skelly probably should have got sent off for a second yellow card, and who knows, maybe that changes things. But I mean, yeah, you can't really knock the performance. I mean, I said it when PSG beat Brest, like, I don't really care who you're playing, but to score 7 goals in a Champions League knockout game, it's impressive. And to do it away from home, I mean, that is insane. Maybe we'll have it here, but yeah, become the first team in Champions League history to score 7 goals away from home in a knockout match. It was unbelievable. Even Nwaneri was fantastic. Timber was great. Odegaard got a brace. I mean, yeah. What more can I say? It was superb for Arsenal, and hopefully, for Arsenal fans' perspective, they can try and carry this momentum now into the Premier League. But you almost feel like, where was this? Like, where was all of this against West Ham? Where was all of this for all of the season, really? Yeah, but a fantastic display from Arsenal, and it should definitely give them a lot of confidence going into the Premier League, which I think they definitely needed a result like this, so well done to them. But PSV, I mean, wow. I mean, some of it defending, I mean, the third goal, I mean, it probably shouldn't have stood, right? It was probably offside, but I think that just completely summed up the entire game. Like, what on earth is that defending from PSV? It was abysmal. It was absolutely abysmal, and that, yeah, they should honestly just be completely ashamed. I feel like they should probably not even turn up. They shouldn't turn up for the second leg to save the embarrassment. Honestly, just forfeit. Just play the forfeit rule. Don't even bother turning up, because that was abysmal. To lose 7-1 at the crib, at home, in front of your fans, like, that is crazy. That is crazy. And now you conceding 7 to this Arsenal team. Like, Arsenal don't score goals, and you concede 7 to them. Embarrassing. Absolute embarrassment. Alright, next up, Real Madrid 2, Atletico Madrid 1. Goals from Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, and Julian Alvarez. So, a much closer game than the Arsenal one, and a fantastic game. Madrid derby, it was the one for me which I was kind of most excited for, and it definitely delivered. It was a great watch, a really entertaining game, ebbed and flowed, and I mean, we saw 3 absolute bangers in this game. Rodrigo's goal was superb. Julian Alvarez's was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And then Brahim Diaz's goal, I mean, the footwork was beautiful. I mean, the way he sat down Jimenez, I mean, it was beautiful. All 3 goals were brilliant, and he sort of just showed, right, like, the individual brilliance and quality on that pitch. Showed what these players are sort of capable of, right? But yeah, I thought it was a really interesting game and very entertaining. Madrid started off very well and obviously got their goal, but then Atletico started to grow into the game more, and I mean, obviously the goal sort of came out of nowhere, but Atletico were piling on the pressure and creating some chances before this, so it was sort of deserved in a way. But then Atletico came out second half as well, and looked pretty good. Then the Diaz goal comes out of nowhere, really against a run of play. But then what shocked me was Atletico after that sort of just said, you know what, we'll take the 2-1, and they just didn't even try and score a goal. Really, it felt like in the rest of the second half, like, they had 1 shot on target, they had 3 shots the entire second half. They really just sort of said, you know what, we're playing for a 2-1 loss, which I thought was a bit of a weird thing. Like, obviously I understand it, right, because they're very good at home, and they probably think, okay, if we go down 1 goal deficit, we can probably overturn that away from home. But I feel like when you were, I think for most of the game, I think you were probably the better side, and you had some momentum. I feel like surely you say, okay, you know what, let's, we don't have to go gun-ho here, but let's at least try and get an equaliser, because if we can get a draw here, then we actually are in an unbelievable position here to overturn this. But yeah, no, the mentality from Diego Simeone I thought was quite poor in this game. He subbed off Griezmann in the 71st minute for a centre-back, which sort of just summed up, like, that they were saying, okay, we're playing for the 1-0 loss, 1 goal loss, which, yeah, I just thought was really odd. And look, it may be a masterclass, it may be a tactical genius play if Atletico overturned the second leg at home, but it really could backfire. I just don't think in the Champions League, especially when you're playing a team like Real Madrid, you can really afford to take those liberties. Like, it's, if you were playing someone else, I think, okay, yeah, maybe you could do that, but against Real Madrid in the Champions League, I'm not sure you can definitively say, okay, we're gonna beat them at our home and we'll just take a 1-goal loss away from home. But look, obviously the die is definitely still in the balance, and as I said, I think Atletico were probably the better side for a lot of this game, so they can translate that in front of the home crowd, then maybe they will go through. But yeah, Real Madrid will have Jude Bellingham back in the second game, which will be crucial. I thought Germany was absolutely superb, and Valverde, when he plays right back, do Real Madrid even need Trent? Because he was superb. That pass to Rodrigo goal was unreal. Mbappe, I didn't think had his best game. Vinny was okay, had his moments, but again, I really feel like this Real Madrid team was sort of there for the taking, and Atleti just didn't even try do it. But I think Real Madrid will be pleased with this. They didn't play their best football, but they came away with a win. And as I said, in knockout football, a win is all you need. The die is definitely still in the balance, and it's going to be a great second leg, but yeah, it was a very entertaining first leg, I thought. Next up, Feyenoord 0, Inter Milan 2, goals from Marcus Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. So Inter Milan take a 2-goal lead back to the San Siro and are in a very good position here to progress. Now it could have been more. They actually missed a penalty in this game. Zielinski from the spot missed, and if he scored to make it 3-0, that really would have been tied, done and dusted. At 2-0, I mean, going at home, I highly doubt Feyenoord are going to go away from home and beat Inter 2-0, but 2-0 at least is still a glimmer of hope. At 3-0 it's probably over, so who knows, that could be a decisive moment in the tie. But yeah, Inter Milan were the better side in this one. Feyenoord really struggled to break them down and create too many chances in this game. The Inter Milan goal as well by Marcus Thuram, that first one was unbelievable. The finish was really nice, but the build-up play before that was superb. And I thought overall though, it was just a professional display by Inter. Their goalkeeper Martinez as well came in for Sommer, and I thought he was superb in goal. Defensively very solid Inter, and then clinical at the top of the pitch. As I said, a professional job done performance from Inter away from home against Feyenoord, who, yeah, I mean, look, Feyenoord, to be honest, they weren't that bad. Like, they were okay, but I think they just kind of came undone by a better side. I don't think you can really sort of blame them. Like, there wasn't really too much more they could have done. I wasn't really expecting much more from them. Inter Milan are a much better side than them. So yeah, I think this tie is almost done, but that penalty save maybe keeps them in it. Bayern Munich 3, by Leverkusen 0. 2 goals from Harry Kane, a goal from Jamal Musiala, and a red card for Nordi Mukiele. A bit of a shock result here, at least in terms of the scoreline. For me personally, Bayern Munich 3-0 against Bayer Leverkusen. I personally did not expect this. I thought this game would be very close. I thought over the 2 legs in particular this would be very close, but Bayern Munich absolutely destroyed Leverkusen in this one. I mean, they just cut through Leverkusen so easily. Look at that. I mean, 5 big chances absolutely run the show. Absolutely run the show. He was unbelievable. Harry Kane as well stepped up in this game with 2 goals. A brilliant header early on in the game to give them a lead. You know, Harry Kane, I mean, I've definitely said it as well. A lot of people say, you know, he doesn't turn up in big games and big moments, but he definitely turned up in this game, so well done to him. Yeah, it was fantastic performance from Bayern Munich from top to bottom. Leverkusen had a sort of big chance shortly after Bayern scored, but apart from that, Leverkusen had 3 shots the entire game. They were completely battered, and Bayern Munich were superb. Like, Bayern Munich were culling through their press so easily, and they were absolutely superb. I really did not expect this, because we haven't really seen this sort of Bayern Munich performance against a top caliber opposition in really all season, so it was absolutely superb and definitely caught me off guard. The red card definitely played into effect, and I mean, what on earth is Mukiele doing there? You're on a yellow card, why are you diving in like that? Completely cost his team, because I mean, it was 2-0 at that point, and while Bayern Munich were definitely on top, you know, with 11 men sort of just hold out for a 2-goal deficit and you're still in the tie, but the red card, then they score again. Yeah, 3-0 now. It could have been 4 and it should have been 4. Musiala with an unbelievable touch at the end of him set up Polina, who hit the bar but should have scored, and that maybe could be a big moment in this tie. Because 4-0 definitely would have wrapped it up. The 3-0, obviously Bayern Munich are definitely in pole position here to qualify, but I don't think this tie is like 100% done. Just because I think Leverkusen are very strong at home, but I mean, Bayern Munich play anywhere near the level they played here, then this tie is definitely done. They were superb and well done to them, for sure, but I was definitely expecting a lot more from Leverkusen. That's a really, really damaging result. Really damaging. Benfica 0, Barcelona 1, a goal from Rafinha and a red card for Pau Kabasi. So Barcelona battle for a very, very hard fought victory here. I mean, wow. This was a lot closer than I expected, but obviously because of the red card, Pau Kabasi, completely rash, completely right decision by the way. He was last man and wipes out the guy when he's through on goal. 22nd minute gets a red card. I mean, at that point, to be fair, it was pretty sort of end to end. Both teams had some chances, but to play, you know, for the rest of the game with 10 men like that was difficult, and from that point on, Benfica absolutely dominated. And shout out Szczesny, shout out Szczesny, because he was unbelievable in this game. And it's kind of funny, because obviously the last time he went and played Benfica in the league phase in that 4-5 game, Szczesny was at fault for like all 4 goals pretty much. He was playing against them, so it was a complete redemption story from Szczesny here. Absolutely unbelievable display in this one. Pulled off save after save and kept Barca in the game, and then sort of smash and grab style Rafinha with a fantastic goal, as he's been doing in the Champions League. In these big moments he's stepped up, and he stepped up again with a goal. And then, I mean, Barca tried to hold on from that point, but even then Szczesny was called into action very late on as well. We look at that, I mean, Benfica just absolutely peppered Barca, but Szczesny was not letting a goal in, and it is a unbelievable win from Barca. Unbelievable win from Barca, 1-0 away from home with 10 men for most of the game. Very, very well done to them. Now the tie is definitely not over, because, you know, while of course Barca Barca with 10 men played a lot worse than they were with 11. Benfica created plenty of chances and on another day could have easily won this game. So, you know, while I expect Barca to be better with 10 men, with 11 men in the second leg, and of course being at home, I still think Benfica can be really dangerous. But I mean, from a Benfica's perspective, they completely have shut this tie away. The tie was in their hands, 0-0. There's pretty much 80 minutes to play with a man up. You should not be losing. At the very least, get a draw. You should not be losing this tie, and you had more than enough chances, but you didn't put them away. Yeah, completely missed a chance here to take a lead to Barcelona, which would have set them up for a really, really good spell, and a really good chance of progressing from the tie. But now they've got an uphill battle, and now they've got to go away from home against Barca and beat them. So it's going to be tough, but I do think this tie is still potentially in the balance. Right, and finally PSG 0, Liverpool 1. Goal from Harvey Elliott. I mean, wow. This was literal. I mean, a literal crime was committed in Paris. Like, that was the most blatant robbery I think I've ever seen. Liverpool absolutely stole that win. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, should I just leave it at that? I think just leave it at that and end the video, because that is, it's unbelievable how they won that game. It is absolutely crazy how they won that game. Wow. Two shots the entire game, and they somehow come away with a victory. That is insane. But look, I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, when it comes to knockout football, it does not matter at all how you play and how you get the win. It's about getting the win. It's about getting the win. League football, it kind of does matter, because, you know, you've got so many games to get through. If you continue to play bad and get wins, yeah, that's a bit iffy, because eventually you'll get found out. But in knockout tournament football, it is not about how you play, it's about how you win and get the win and get through the tie by any means necessary. And that is what Liverpool did in this game, and that is what Alisson Becker did in this game. You see, Alisson has sort of been injured for, you know, quite a bit of, like, the last 2 years really, and definitely me personally, I sort of have forgotten about how good Alisson is, right? Like, when I think of the best keepers in the world, you know, I chuck Alisson in that combo, but, you know, I always see, like, Courtois getting peppered with shots from Real Madrid, so I always, you know, think he's miles better, because I never really see Alisson the way Liverpool play. I don't really see him getting peppered with shots, and of course he's been in and out of games, and missed some, like, big Champions League games too. But he came in for this, and I mean, he proved, definitely to me, and I think a lot of people, that yeah, he's still that dude. He is still a world-class keeper, and his shot-stopping ability is unreal. I mean, he was single-handedly carrying Liverpool in this game, and he single-handedly got them that win. Like, look, shout out to Elliot, great moment for him coming on straight away. What a substitute that was. But Alisson got that win, not Elliot. Like, Alisson was unreal, absolutely unreal in this game. And yeah, look, obviously the Liverpool performance was bad, but I'm not gonna sit here and like slate them because, as I said, it's tournament football. It's about getting the win, not about how you get the win. And PSG really only have themselves to blame here because they should have easily won this game. Like I already said with Benfica, they had more than enough chances, and with the amount of chances they had, there's really no excuse to, at the very least get a draw. There's no excuse to lose this game. That is crazy. That's crazy to lose this game. Donnarumma as well. Easily should have saved that. Definitely should have saved that. But look, obviously now Liverpool are in a fantastic position going into the second leg. But what I will say is the die is definitely not over. Like, of course, Liverpool at Anfield. I said actually before in my prediction video that I think Liverpool were definitely going to win at home at Anfield, but off the back of how they were battered like that, I've never really seen Liverpool battered like this in years. Like, I think back to maybe that season where like they finished like 4th under Klopp. That was probably the only time. I think last time I remember Liverpool getting smoked from minute 1 to 90 in a game. So like for that reason, obviously Liverpool have a lead, and at home I'm sure will definitely have a better performance, but the die is definitely not done. Like, I could easily see PSG beating Liverpool just based on how amazing they were in this game, and clearly, Liverpool are gonna have to try and change something because this front three was just ripping them an absolute new one in this game, and Liverpool couldn't cope. They couldn't cope with a press. They couldn't really string 4 or 5 passes together, and I'm not sure how much an Anfield crowd is going to really affect that. So that's why I think this tie is definitely not done. But of course, that goal gives Liverpool a huge advantage, and yeah, it was one of the most undeserved victories I think I've ever seen. But at the end of the day, as I'm gonna keep saying, it's not about how you win, it's about getting the job done, and Liverpool got the job done. But there we go, that is my review of the Champions League fixtures. Let me know your thoughts on the first legs, and if you have enjoyed, please do leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in another video. Peace.